Hey, welcome back to another video, I guess. This is Curb. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here today and just rant about some stuff that I was recently thinking about. And it mainly had to, do with ROMs and stuff like that, but it was there's a lot of other things that I've been thinking about. Like, not just ROMs, but also, also what's it called? Censorship right now. Like, it's bad. So, I just want to start with one thing. You know, the whole You know, as somebody who's been playing games for years, somebody who avidly enjoys them, like I love video games with a burning passion because video games have always been there for me. Like, I have always been able to play a game and just lose myself in it. Like with Toe Jam and Earl. Like this is a game that I've been a fan of for years. And like when I was a kid, I remember listening to this one Childish Gambino song where he mentions the game, and I remember being like, "Whoa, I played that game. I love that game." And there's I remember when Sega released their Sega Genesis. That was dope. Like, I was like, "Dude, this is awesome!" Like, you can play a bunch of old games like Toe Jam and Earl, like Sonic, like the Golden Axe. Like, that's awesome. The NES, the ROM, heavy quotations on the emulation of ROMs. That version of the console that was released a couple years back, that was like, oh hey, this all-in-one console preloaded with a bunch of our retro games. Like, that's cool and all. But the thing is, this to me is that it's kind of lazy, and it just, to me at least, feels like they don't actually care about, you know, actually putting these games out again because people want them. It's just to combat the rising goal of emulating games. Like, people have been tired of this for some time. Like, yeah, I know that I am. Like, I know that I was tired of games like AAA label games coming out and releasing less than less than subpar games. Like, I remember when what was that one game called? I think it was called Red Alert, I think. And I was like, this is cool and all, but it's like, this isn't completed. It wasn't good. It was bunk, in my opinion. It was bunk. And it made me mad because I was like, as somebody who has spent maybe thousands of dollars on video games, just because I love them, who have pre-ordered games like Call of Duty. I pre-ordered Vanguard, and that game was trash. I've been a fan of Call of Duty for years, and after I pre-ordered that game, it made me question if I ever even want to play another Call of Duty title again. I mean, of course, that didn't really stick around for long because then I pre-ordered Black Ops 6, but it was like that. It's like, it's cool and all, and I appreciate them doing these kind of things, but it's like, does it really benefit anyone but the distributor? And so I was really thinking about it. And the only reason they're really releasing these kind of consoles is because it combats emulation. Because instead of them going on the internet and downloading a ROM of a video game they really like, they can just buy your console and that, you know what, I don't have to emulate it. I could just buy this one and then get a bunch of all-in-one games on this one console that I could just plug into my TV and give up. And I'm not saying that I dislike the Sega Genesis. I'm not saying that I dislike the preloaded NES or any other console that's doing that. But I'm saying that if the only reason you're producing these consoles is to stop people from being able to enjoy the game that they enjoy for free, which, in my opinion, should be a thing that we're allowed to do. As a consumer and somebody who has bought games for years, when they started releasing things there, it's like, you don't own the game, you're actually licensing it. That made me never want to buy games again. I was like, wait, what do you mean I don't own the game? That's an enraging feeling.
As somebody who has spent most of their life playing video games, I remember when I was a kid and I played Doom 2016 on Vemo. I played the shit out that game over and over and over again. It made me a longtime Doom fan. And so when I went to buy Doom the Dark Ages for PS5, and I remember my friend telling me, "Oh, you should have you have to buy it on disc because then you'll own it even more than you do if you buy it digital." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "If you buy it digital, it's kind of like licensing the game. You don't really own it." And I was like, "Wait, what do you mean? They can take the game from me at any point. What do you mean by that?" Like that's an upsetting feeling. I spent my money on this game. I saved up that money to buy a game from a franchise that I enjoy a lot. Where do I go? I'm trying to figure that out. Sorry. As somebody I spent my money on. I love that franchise. But as a consumer, I don't think that I ethically can consume video games or even just console products as a whole anymore because it feels like I'm feeding into a system that is against me as the consumer. It has no respect for me. And that's the sucky part. And that's disappointing, That's a disappointing feeling. Like I've I've been playing video games ever since I was a kid. Like, I remember the first video game I ever played was Black Ops 1 on the PS3 with my brother, and I loved it. It was a great game. Had an amazing storyline in the campaign. The zombies mode was awesome. And I remember after that moment, I fell in love. Like, video games were always an escape for me. And I felt like even if I couldn't talk to somebody, I could play a video game and get the same feeling. Like that feeling of just that childistic wonder. Like running through Elden Ring's awesome because unlike some games where it has a bunch of fucking quest markers that I have to go chase down like in Skyrim, or a goddamn progress bar that pops up every once in a while telling me how far I'm done with the chapter, like other games, it's like I could just throw the game on and run around, and if I see something dope as hell, I could just go look at it. That's dope to me. That's awesome. But the thing is that we're coming to a day and age where it's like the game developers don't want to give us that. They really don't. And that's a sad thing. They don't want to give us these amazing IPs anymore. I mean, half the time that we receive a new game, they're not even completed. Like with Cyber, again, I want to paraphrase this by saying I am a big Cyberpunk fan. I enjoy Cyberpunk as a game. That was a great game. After the bugs were fixed, after everything was redeveloped to function as it was supposed to, because otherwise the game was unplayable. You could not play the game. And that's what I'm realizing now is that there's more money in controversy than there is in producing an actually well-made game. And that to me is sad. That is a terrible thing. That makes me sad. Because as somebody who loves video games and adores the storytelling that come from them, especially games like The Last of Us or A Way Out, that have great storylines that really strike you. To see the video game industry divulge into a system of just, oh, well, it doesn't matter if the game's not finished, it's not like they're gonna say anything about it. I mean, what the fuck is the consumer they're gonna be mad? What are they gonna do? Nothing. They know we can't do anything. But there is something we can do. And that's fight against it. I'm not saying to go and pirate every game that you like. But I'm saying don't buy it. Don't buy into these systems. If it's an indie developer, by all means, go ahead. Toby Fox, Scott Cawthorn, like those creators like that, I completely
I completely agree with you going and buying their games. But the thing is that I don't completely agree with paying Rockstar for a game that's taken them 5 years since announce. I'm pretty sure about 5 years since announcement to produce, and is still possibly going to be delayed even further into the next year. I'm not saying not to buy the newest COD game that's coming out, because every game that comes out is riddled with microtransactions, bugs that then get fixed later on, and AI artwork that's being put into the game so that they don't have to hire artists to actually, make art. I'm not saying don't buy the new Nintendo games because, Nintendo as a company just sucks balls. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is fight against it. Don't allow them and these companies to think that we're just going to sit back and take it like a good little bitch. Let them know that this isn't what we're going to do.